Hello everyone. When we look at Bayesian theorem, polarity analysis, and intuitionistic fuzzy sets, it is important to understand that all three were developed to improve the repertorization, but each approaches the problem from a completely different angle. Bayesian theorem is concerned with probability. Its central question is how much does a particular symptom increase the likelihood of a remedy? Imagine you are taking a case and initially several remedies seem possible. As you gather more symptoms, certain remedies become more probable while others become less probable. For example, a patient presents with anxiety, restlessness, and fear. Many remedies may fit. However, when the patient says, "Doctor, I feel I am going to die tonight," the probability of aconite rises dramatically because that symptom is highly characteristic of the remedy. Bayesian thinking therefore helps us to understand why peculiar and characteristic symptoms are more valuable than common symptoms. It strengthens the remedies that are strongly supported by the evidence. The second one, polarity analysis, on the other hand, is not primarily concerned with probability. Instead, it focuses on contradictions. The central question here is, does this remedy contain symptoms that are opposite to the patient's symptoms? For example, suppose a patient is extremely thirsty and feels better from warmth. During repertorization, pulsatilla and arsenic both appear among the leading remedies. However, pulsatilla is famous for thirstlessness and often prefers cool air. These features directly contradict the patient's experience. Polarity analysis identifies such contradictions and reduces the importance of pulsatilla. Therefore, while Bayesian analysis asks which remedy is supported by the symptoms, polarity analysis asks which remedies should be rejected because they conflict with the patient's most characteristic features. Intuitionistic fuzzy sets addresses an entirely different problem: uncertainty. The central question is, how reliable is the symptom itself? In real clinical practice, patients often provide incomplete or uncertain information. A patient may say, "I think cold weather aggravates me, but I am not completely sure." Traditional repertorization forces the homeopath to decide whether the symptom is present or absent. Intuitionistic fuzzy sets recognizes that reality is often more complex. Instead of treating the symptom as simply present or absent, the method allows degree of certainty, degree of absence, and degree of uncertainty. In other words, it measures how trustworthy the symptom is before using it in repertorization. This makes it particularly useful in chronic cases where symptoms may be vague, fluctuating, or incompletely expressed. A simple analogy can help you. Imagine you are solving a crime. Bayesian theorem asks, how strongly does this clue points towards a suspect? Polarity analysis asks, how or does this clue prove that a suspect cannot be the criminal? Intuitionistic fuzzy set asks, how reliable is the witness who gave the clue? All three approaches are valuable, but they work at different stages of the reasoning process. Bayesian analysis strengthens the remedies supported by the evidence. Polarity analysis eliminates the remedies that contradict the evidence. Intuitionistic fuzzy sets evaluate the reliability of the evidence itself. For this reason, many researchers consider them complementary rather than competing methods. Together, they represent three important directions in modern homeopathic repertorization: probability-based analysis, contradiction-based analysis, and uncertainty-based analysis. While none of them replace classical case taking, mathematics, or clinical judgment, they provide additional scientific tool to make remedy selection more systematic and accurate. Thank you.